Well, hello and welcome to Fava Noon in the month of April. Believe it or not, we're here, guys. We're in the month of April, and I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're stewarding, and I hope you're living the life that God created you to live. I hope you're empowering value with that value in you because that's what God has placed you on the earth to do. And if you saw hold on one second. If you saw our promo, okay, I have this new phone, guys. Anyway, if you saw our promo, you see that our father conversation list is coming up. When's the ninth? This week, I think. Is it this week? The ninth, April 9th. I think it's this week. April 9th, it starts Wednesday, I believe, because it's going to come every Wednesday. And so check go to our website. I think we put on the front page, on the home page, so you can see right there how to subscribe. It's just only $5.99 a month. And we're going to have a fresh one every week for you. I think we have the first season done already. So you go on there and you look at you can view the new it's just our new podcast, our deep dive podcast. So we're going deep into current events, we're investigating into things, and we're getting the solution, we're getting the results, and we're finding out why things are the way they are. This right here, we do more conversation with you, but that's going to be a deep conversation. We're going into the topics that we don't get to do here, and then you can join in with us, you can comment, you can send in you're going to be out there working with us, partnering with us. You're going to investigate, find out information, send it to us so we could use it. And then we do some of the episodes, may not be all. We do follow-ups as well. So we could find the answers to the questions that make you go, why is that the way it is? Why are things happening? This should be done a whole different way. Why is it not happening that way? So that's what the Father Conversations is going to have. It's a 2.0 version of the Father Conversation. So that's what everything this year is new level 2.0. So we're doing a higher level of this where we get to go deep into situations and current events and find out why they are, how they are. And some of them we'll find, some of them we won't, but we're just going to work until we get as close to the answer as we can. Okay. That's something we've been wanting to do. So we're going to do it. So not check your listings, but go to our website, favorofagreatgod.com, and right on there you're going to put it up on the home page for you, like we have it on a separate page, but we put it up front so anyone who wants to join us can start, and you can see it right there, and you can subscribe and get a fresh new episode every week. So that's going to be very interesting. I'm really looking forward to that. So get on there and join the conversation. Okay. And Father Reach. Don't forget Father Reach. We are here empowering value with our empowered value. But most importantly, we have some human traffic victims on our minds that we want to empower. We want to sow into the lives of people. We want to create programs that will help these young men and women get out of modern day slavery and live the life God created them to live. So that's why we are here. We're doing our Fava Festival this year. And don't forget it. We're going to get your date soon. We're working on it. We're going to be virtual and live in person. We're working on the in-person part, but definitely virtual. And we're going to come to you guys. And this is one of our ventures that we love putting on because it helps us reach our Fava human traffic victims. So don't forget, donate, scan the QR code, donate to Fava Reach, and everything you send will go. Like compared to what we do here will go to what we say we're going to go to, because that's what we are very intentional about that, because it's important to have integrity and to have ethics and to do things the right way. So we here make sure that what we say is going to, it goes to. Okay, even if we have to do without sometimes, we'll make sure that happens. Okay, so scan the QR code, give to Fava Reach, and help us make a difference in these kids' lives, because there is no way any type of slavery should be existing in the times we live in. We've come a long ways and we don't want to go back. Okay, so please give to us and partner with us in doing in bringing life and hope and all kinds of stuff to these young people, so that they can know, I don't care what happened to you, you're valued by God, and everything he created you to do, you will do. And we're going to help you do it. Okay, so don't forget that. Also, Map It, Zap It, the audiobook right here, $15.49 on Spotify. Scan the QR code, go to there, you can listen, so that you can get access to the audiobook and listen to it. We also have the ebook that's on Amazon.com and Apple Books and favorofagreatgod.com. So we have the ebook there, and on Amazon you can also get access to the hardcover, hard copy, hard copy. You can get the hard copy, you can get the hardcover, or what's it, regular soft cover? I'm not sure how you say that. Paperback, probably that's what it is. Okay, so you can get the hard copy over there as well. So we put it out there for you guys. Join us, and we have some more stuff coming. But as they come out, we'll let you know. As we solidify things, we'll let you know. So join us in this year being our 2.0 year. And we didn't know what was going to happen. We just declared it. And God is helping us do things more than we could have even understood. That's why I tell you, no matter what's going on, and we know what's going on. We're going to talk about it in our stewarded section later on in the show. But no matter what's going on, if God is for you, who can be against you? He will give you the strategies to prosper. It matter, and so when you do that, you're not just being a dependent person. You're saying, God, I prosper because of you. Give me the ideas, not just to help me, but to help others. When you have that mindset, you never become caught up in all the kind of webs that we're hearing about, because you're focused on God. You have the solution that we need. Show us what it is so we can be the solution to problems and not become the problem. And when you're not focused on being the solution, you become the problem after a while. And especially people who are saved. Everybody, and everybody's not saved and don't believe that's real, but the people who do, and you know who you are in Christ, you know what you should be doing. You know how you can get before his presence and say, God, I don't know what's going on here, but you got the answer to this, and we're going to stay right in your presence so you can give it to us, and so we can be vessels of honor unto you no matter what's going on. And so that's why I said you cannot be in this world and be a person full of hopelessness and, oh, look what they're doing to me. No, if you're a child of God, you're never hopeless, because God is looking over you to make sure everything he said about you come to pass. And even if he has to save everybody just for you, that's what's going to happen, because you're in covenant with God. David understood that. Daniel understood that. Esther understood that. We're in covenant with God, and we don't go the way everybody else goes. We are blessed. So God has to take care of us, because he said in his word he would. And God is not a man that he should lie. So if he said it, he's going to find a way to do it. And we don't even have to know anything about it. And matter of fact, if there's no way, he will create a way to make that thing happen. So when you have that mindset, you're not walking around head down, crying. No, God is going to work something out, because he only allows what he knows is going to work for his purpose. In the end, he works it all together for the good of them who love him. So we have to have that mindset. And so that's the mindset we go into our stewardship. We're doing our stocks, and we're doing all these different things. And we're investing, and we're being good stewards of everything, every gift, every talent, every dime, everything God gives us, every opportunity. We're being good stewards of it. So then we don't have to walk around going, oh my God, no. We are not of the world. We are from a different situation, and God handles things differently. If you see how Jesus handles stuff, do you know how Jesus handles stuff? I mean, he walked around in the middle of a storm and he was sleeping, and everybody was, ooh, ooh. He was sleeping because he understood who he was and that he was taken care of. And when you get that mindset, it shows you, okay, God, this is going on, but you have some plan. And I'm just waiting for you to give me the strategy to handle this. And when he gives it to you, you're like, oh, look at this. It's always bigger than you think, because God's ways are not your ways. His thoughts are not your thoughts. He operates in a whole different dimension of, oh no, I'm seeing everything here. And I know the end from the beginning. So I know what's going to happen. And I don't care what you see. Trust in God and trust the process. That's the word I've always been. When we came into our house and they were building it, and we saw some things, we're like, well, wait a minute. This don't look like it could be what they said it's going to be. And the one thing the lady, and she was, I think she's the realtor, real estate agent, but she's the one who works here. And she said, trust the process. It's going to be okay. We've done this over and over again. We don't worry. And believe you me, when we trusted the process, it was exactly what we were supposed to get, but we couldn't see it. My God, when in the beginning, the building, that's why we tell you build, build, build. While you're building, you're not seeing what you want to see, but it doesn't look like it's going to look like that. And God says, trust the process. Just keep on building. He told Noah the same thing. Keep on building. I got this. Just keep on building. And that's what we tell you when you're doing the steward. Keep on building. Don't begin scared. You're going to get, the devil's going to tempt you to get a little scared. Say, I'm not going to be afraid, because God has not given me the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So I don't care what's going on here. I know God's got something that's going to come out of this that's going to benefit me and everyone concerning me. And when you have that, it relieves your stress. It relieves your anxieties. And believe you me, I have anxieties too. Don't get you wrong. But I have learned to trust in God. I have learned to stand on his word and say, God, you said this. So you have to do this. I don't know what you're doing, but you're going to figure this out. And you're going to show me how you're going to work this thing out to make me come out on top. I don't know what you're doing, but do what you do. And that's what we need to do. God. Trust the process. It's going to work out. Trust the process. And know that God is going to work things out for your good. And stay connected to God. Don't start acting crazy. Don't go in these streets acting the fool. See, that's what people start doing. They start acting the fool. They get scared and they mess up. And then by the time they're done, they mess up so much that when the prosperity comes, when the increase comes, they can't enjoy it because they're probably in jail. Some of them are dead and all kind of hot mess. Don't do all these kind of crazy things. When things are a little uncertain, it's not time to get crazy. It's time to stay and figure out, okay, God, what you're doing. Show me how to handle this. Show me how to do this. So in the end, it comes out good for me. It comes out well for me. It comes out prosperous for anyone concerning me or connected to me. And watch God do that thing only he could do. Because it's not by might, it's not by power, but it's by the Spirit of the living God. And that is what we have to understand. Daily, he loads us with his benefits. Oh my goodness. Daily, he loads us with his benefits. So every day I wake up expecting some benefits. I'm like, God, you already told me I have some benefits. So I'm expecting it. As a matter of fact, the night before, when me and my husband have our devotional, I'm like saying, okay, God, we're going to bed and we're expecting the great things you're going to do because the benefits are already laid up for us for tomorrow. So we don't have to worry about it. We wake up expecting the benefits, and God has them already prepared, already stacked up for you. He loads you with his benefits. So get that and understand and rest in that. Oh my God, it's so sweet to trust in Jesus just to take him at his word. It's a song, but let me tell you, when times are turbulent, oh yes, it's a good thing to know. It's a good thing to remember that we can trust God. He has it. He's got it. This week are on Friday, don't forget, Fridays, 8 a.m. Sometimes a little later, but we try to go for Fridays at 8 a.m. We got our blog that comes out every Friday. It shows up on our Facebook page, I think, and then it's on our website. So don't forget to check out for it. And it comes on our You Have a Father Conversation group. But on the website, you scroll down and you see all the different blogs there. And then you go to the last one and we're right there. So this week, you have everything you need. And I remember that because of this little song that goes, we have everything we need. Da, na, 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 na. We have everything we need. So I remembered it from that song. And I was like, that is so powerful. You have everything you need to do what God has called you to do. He created you with value. That's why we keep telling you. The value you have doesn't come from a single person. It doesn't come from a single thing. If nobody recognizes the value you have, it doesn't matter. Because the value comes from God. God trumps everything. Everyone. There's nobody that can do anything greater than God. God is it. He's the ultimate highest point ever. That's it. When he created you with value, that value was for the earth. And he is going to look over it to perform it in your life. So that's why you don't have to worry about people, because God said, I have put you here for this purpose. And if you don't stay connected to God, you may mess up and get killed before your purpose. Because some people have done so many things to themselves, they die earlier than they're supposed to die. But if you stay connected to God, your purpose is going to be fulfilled. You're going to see God manifest in whatever it is. And your purpose is not somebody else's purpose. It's your purpose. So you stay with God and watch him do that thing for you. And watch him bring you up and build you up and lift you up to the place that he wants you to, so you can do what he's called you to do, so you can impact the people he's called you to impact. It's always about God, you, and others, and his plans and purposes for your life. And so when we stay there, we understand everything we need to do what he's called us to do. He's already equipped us with it, whether you know it or not. It's in you. It lies dormant in you. And then sometimes it takes situations and circumstances and people to bring it out of you, to show you what's in you, but it's already in you. So that's why you have to go, God, what have you placed in me that I am not understanding that can help me achieve exactly what you've created me to do? And he will show you. We have some scriptures, but I always go back to that scripture with the lady the Shunammite woman that was, I think her husband died and she had a son. There was a famine in the land, no money. She had nothing. She had a little bit of oil and a little bit of flour left to make one last cake for she and her son for her to die. That's all she had left. And here comes Elijah the prophet telling her, you got to make me a cake. She said, make you a cake with what? All I have here is a little bit of oil and a little bit of flour. He said, but God told me to tell you. She said, okay, I'm going to make this cake for you. Like if you said God told her, I'm going to make this cake for you. And I don't know what she was thinking other than that. She must have been like, Lord, I don't know what you're going to do, but this man told me to make a cake for him with everything I have. And you need, I don't know. I guess you want us to die early. I don't know, but I don't know what her thinking process was. But you know that had to be part of it. She made the cake for him, and when she made it for him, Elijah blessed her and said, get me, what do you have in your house? Well, no, did she make the cake? Probably she didn't make the cake. I think he just said, okay, that's all you have. So she said, what do you have in your house? And she said, I have a little bit of oil. He said, go get some barrels. And she said, I have the barrels. He said, well, get whatever you have, and then go get some barrels from your neighbors and bring them. And she poured, I'm not sure, I'm thinking she made him a cake. So probably after the cake, she had some oil left, or I have to go read again because I haven't read in a long time. But that just came to me now. I'm not sure. Anyway, she went and got all the barrels and poured. That little bit of oil that she had just kept pouring. It would not stop. It kept pouring and pouring and pouring until she came to the last barrel that she collected from her friends and neighbors or whatever. And the oil did not stop until she got to the last barrel. When she got to the last barrel, the oil stopped because God had already made provision for her. And she had a little bit of oil, and she had some neighbors who would help her with some barrels. And that lady sold oil and took care of herself and her son for the rest of her life. She was never broke again. She was never poor. She was never hungry. She never lacked for anything because she obeyed the prophet and she obeyed the word of the Lord through the prophet. And everything he told her to do, she did. And God brought prosperity to that lady's home for the rest of her life. What is in your hand? What is in your house? Sometimes you're looking at everybody's stuff, what everybody else got, but God is not going to use what they got to bless you. He's going to use what you have to bless you. And then he may tell you to go and get some neighbors to help you. But in the end, it always starts with what he placed in your hand. What has God given you? What gifting? What talent? What provision? What sustenance? What inheritance? What do you have in your hands? And God will use that to bless not only you, but your generations, your friends, your family, your neighbors, people that you don't even know will be blessed. That's why we're talking about during the month of March, the ladies that used their giftings and they studied whatever they had to create things, to invent things that we are benefiting from today. And they didn't know that. They just knew there was a need and they had to fill it. One lady had to provide security for her home in the middle of Queens, New York, where there were gangs and all kinds of violence going on. She wanted to secure her home. She created the security system. The other lady last week, she was very into computers, and this one man was there, Mr. Babbage. She worked with him. She gave him they did the research. She got the research and helped them create something to this day that's affecting all computers that we have to this day. These are things when problems arise, when situations arise, God will say, what is in your hand to help you solve the problem? Joseph did the same thing. Esther was a solution. Daniel was a solution. They became solutions to the problem, and it blessed them for the rest of their lives. What is in your hand? And we look at everything and everybody, and then we don't sit down and just introspect and look into yourself and look into your life and say, God, show me what's in me. Show me what I have. Show me what needs to change, but then show me what I have. So I could do what you've called me, so I could start doing what you've called me to do. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of stuff. Start where you're at, and then the rest will come in line. Once you get yourself to a part where you need something, God is going to bring it to you. But use what you got. Take the first step so that God can bring increase into your life. And that works for me. I've done it with so many different things. I've been like, well, I can't find the word. God, what do you have? And then we use it. Even this little computer. I always tell people this little computer has done so much stuff for me. I mean, Lord Jesus. But God will show you what you have in your hand, and you could use that and grow from that. But you have to start somewhere. Joshua 1:3 says, every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. That's what God told the children of Israel. He was telling them through Joshua. Everywhere you walk, the soles of your foot walk, I've already given it to you, because he would send them into the promised land, and there were giants and everything, and they were scared. And God said, go in there. I've given you that land. Walk on that land. Walk on it and tread on it, because everywhere the soles of your feet tread, I've given you. It could be God may give you some property. So you could remember we talking about a story that when you work out the monies from your investments, then you look into investing into properties and look into investing into businesses. You could walk on a property and God said that's yours. Walk on it and claim it. It could be properties as far as businesses you're going into, or ventures you're going into. Whatever it is, God is sending you into, even your family and all these different things. There are territories that God is sending you into that you have to possess in your mind, in your spirit, and in your body. You have to say, this is mine. I walk in and I claim it. And God, I thank you for showing me how to strategize so I can make this into a prosperous situation, a profitable situation. These are things you have to possess the places that God has placed you, possess the opportunities, possess wherever it is God has given you. You have to take a hold of it and say, this is mine. And it will bring profit. It will be prosperous because God has given it to me. And that's what Joshua and the people, the children of Israel, had to do. Some of them were scared. Oh, we can't take this. But God gave them a land flowing with milk and honey. He said that he promised it to them. And when they finally came into it, they were scared because they were giants. He said, no, kill the giants and walk in that land. And so Joshua and Caleb were the only two that were full of faith. And they were able to stir them on and get them to kill the giants and walk in that land and prosper in it because God had given it to them. Genesis 9:3, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. That's when God put Adam and Eve in the garden, and he was telling them what to do with he gave them the whole garden. He gave them the whole earth. It was just Adam. Then he took out the rib from Adam and created Eve. So two of them had to manage the entire earth by themselves. All the minerals, all the trees, all the water, all the sky, the birds, the plants, everything. He said, I have given this to you for meat. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. What God placed on the earth was for man. That's why whatever medical situation you have, every healing agent God has placed on the earth are in the plants. They're in the living things. That's what people use to create medicine. When you go, you study them, you put them together. Because, well, I know a little about that because I come from the Caribbean, and back home, everything is a bush tea. You have to take leaves out of everything and make tea, and it really works. It's for everything, for a cold, for I'm not sure about headaches, but certain parts like diabetes and all these things, they have these different things, and they tell you, and you boil them in water and you make them like a tea, and you drink. And now I am hearing about some things that I didn't even know. Like we grew up eating the soursop like it was a fruit, and we just ate it. I mean, it's just a wonderful fruit, and we just ate it. Didn't know that it was, it has nutrients in it that fight cancer. All these years, I just found this out like a few years ago, like not less than 10 years ago, I found out. I'm like, we've been eating that thing and didn't know it was an agent to fight against cancer. And the leaves are even more potent. We didn't know you could drink the leaves of soursop. But that's what we call it. And I actually learned about it from the Spanish people because I saw guadal or something they had. I said, what is this? I said, that looks like a soursop. And when I studied, I said, oh my God, we didn't know what we had. It's an agent to fight against cancer. The sea moss is another one. We drink that. They make a juice out of that. That's almost the consistency of soursop juice. It's this white milky thing. And it's really good, but it doesn't look appetizing. Come to find out that's an agent to fight against most diseases. And we didn't know. And we were just drinking it like a juice. and sometimes you don't even want to look at it when you're making. You just want to drink the finished product, because when you look at it, it was a little Didn't know that thing was a major agent to fight against diseases of every kind. And we're now learning about this. We drink a lot of like the lime trees. We have a lot of lime and lemon trees. We know that the leaves, you can boil the leaves and make a tea. That's a good to fight against. I'm not sure which one, but it fights diseases. But the older people would tell you about these things. When we were younger, we were not really studying these things. But the older people would tell you about them. But some of them, I don't even think they knew about the soursop and the sea moss and the extent of its health benefits. But that's why God said, I have placed everything. It's up to you now to go and seek it out and find out what's in there. Find out what it can and cannot do, because I've given it to you. Dominate it. That's what possessing is. When you go into a thing, whether it be a business or an opportunity or a school or a person or your marriage or your family or your church, whatever, when you go into a thing and you scout it out and you research it to the max to find out everything it can and cannot do, so you can find all the benefits in it. That's what possessing the land is. I'm going to scout this thing out, and everything it can do, I'm going to work it, because God has given me this opportunity and this land to possess it. The sorrel. I'm sorry. The sorrel they call, when you all hear them talk about hibiscus tea. I was like, what is hibiscus? Because we have the hibiscus flowers back home, but it's not for tea. Didn't know that, but we call it sorrel back home. But we didn't know it was linked to the hibiscus family. I never knew that. We just call it sorrel. And we make it every Christmas. It's this red juice, and these are leaves, like this flower, red floret leaves, I guess. I don't know what you call them. Anyway, you peel them off and you boil them, and you have this wonderful red juice that you have every Christmas. Didn't know it had health benefits. I just drank it because I liked it, because we make gingerbread too, and I'm not a fan of gingerbread because it burns, but my family likes it. Didn't know the sorrel was a major health benefit product. People drink it to fight off, I think they said, diabetes and high blood pressure and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't know you could even drink it hot, because we just drink it as juice with ice. But they said you could make the tea out of it. I'm like, there's a tea. So me and my husband went to look, because he didn't know. He comes from Guyana, which is kind of in the South America, close to the Caribbean. And they know a lot of things that we know. But he didn't know it either. So we went and we found the tea bags of sorrel. So then when we made the juice Christmas time, because that's when you make it, we said, well, let's boil it and drink. So we boiled it, and it was good. Didn't know we could drink it hot. Years on the earth since I was a child, drinking it every Christmas with your black cake and your sorrel and your gingerbread. Never knew you could drink it hot like a tea, and that it could fight diseases. I was like, what? All these years. So we hadn't maximized the land. Now we're finding out we did not maximize that land at all. We just thought it was a pleasure situation, but it was health to us, and we didn't know. If you don't go into a land to possess it, you'll miss a lot of stuff. And we can't afford to miss the stuff, because now this is something that you could make money. That's a major thing to make money, something to bring healing to families. So if you have any cancerous situation going on that you know of, get them some soursop and get the leaves and the fruit and start eating it. And as a matter of fact, in the stores, they sell the soursop juice in the international sections, but it's a Goyish, it's a Spanish name, but you may see soursop. And you could drink it there. Hopefully, they don't have a lot of preservatives in it, but you can make it yourself. You'd have to order the fruit from some country, like a Caribbean country, or maybe the Asians, I'm not sure, and get the fruit. Or if you go to the Caribbean, look for soursop, and ask them for sorrel too. I mean, that thing blew my mind. And that's where I'm from. I mean, I left there when I was like 15 to come here, but we still talk to people back there all the time. Never knew. When you go into a land, maximize it, because that's the stuff you could miss. People probably died of cancer and was sitting right outside a soursop tree and didn't know that they could drink it and get health benefits from it, and probably get free from cancer. Because one man said he drank it and he free from cancer, free. I mean, that's a testimonial they're having now. So I'm like, we need to understand everything we need for our body and health God placed in these plants. That's why he said, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, shall nourish you, whatever you need to nourish you, I've created. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. Everything God placed on the earth is to help man be healthy, strong, and fulfill the purposes of God. So man wasn't made for earth. Earth was made for man. Always get that. Man is the domineering one. Man has dominion over the earth to manage it and to bring out everything in it that needs to come out. So when you walk in dominion, you say, God, show me what's in all these little things I have there. All these things, show me, so that I can maximize my performance, my success in the earth. Next scripture we have Deuteronomy 8:18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. He it is that hath given thee power to get wealth. God gave you that power. So it's not a bad thing as long as you don't put it over God. But he gave you the power. So that's what I'm saying. Everything on the earth has to work for man. So walk through that and say, God, show me how I can get wealth out of this. Show me how I could get. That's why when we come to the stewarded segment, so you can understand how there are ways you can get wealth. You're not at the mercy of anything or anyone. And the devil will try to make you think, but just stay in the presence and say, God, show me. There's something you need to show me so I can get this wealth because I need to pay my bills. I need to take care of business. And you have given me the power. So that means there's something, if I'm not there, there's something I'm missing. And I'm not supposed to miss it because that is a land that you've given me to possess and to tread in it because you've given it to me. So I got to maximize it. And that means I got to maximize my wealth. So show me the strategies. That I always tell you that's something I prayed about. And God's been showing me strategies all over the place. I'm like, oh God, I missed this one. Oh, every day he's showing me different things. I'm like, how did we miss this? But when you stay in the presence of God and you ask him, he will give you the desires of your heart. And always what it is to establish his covenant in the earth. There's another scripture. Yes. That he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers as it is this day. He's given thee the power to get wealth that he may establish his covenant. He made a covenant with Abraham. And he made a covenant. When he made it, it has to come down through the fathers, through the generations, as we were telling the children of Israel. But now we are grafted into the family of God, and Abraham is the father of faith. So now we get to be part of that family. He's given the commandment to bless us. So you have to go scout out that land and say, God, show me how I can maximize this thing that you've given me, this land that you've given me. It's a land. So I could continue to establish a covenant so people could get to know you. So my impact could be felt, so your name could be glorified. And that's how we go into the land and possess it. Our points for today, you have everything you need to build. We're talking about building, building, building. We started building a few months ago when I came in talking about it. And we didn't know that we were going to get to where we are right now. But it's building, building, building that's going to help you. And all these different situations will tell you that we have to get things in order because you cannot just depend on jobs. Because jobs can, but if jobs can go and come and jobs can go, especially in government, because I always tell people, when you have a government job, it may be secure, but always remember, you are the one giving the government the money to pay you. And if you get that concept, you won't rely on it. Taxpayer dollars are what gives people money to pay government workers. So if you go in there thinking, oh, it's secure until the taxpayers don't have the money to give you. And the economy starts going down and the government starts going down. See, that's where you have to understand. So that's why no matter how much money, I tell people, no matter how much money you get, your trust has to be in the Lord. Because it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth at every stage of your life. Whether it be you're starting the wealth or you have to continue the wealth or you got to keep the wealth. It is he that giveth thee power. He'll give you wisdom and strategies. And that's why it amazes me when I see people and the thought, the strategies they have and the things that I'm like, oh my God. God has given people so much wisdom. If they just stay in touch with him, the things that will take place in their lives. Oh my God. Build, build. He told Noah, build. Nobody thought they need an ark. First, it had never even rained, fathers for it to flood. And God told him, I said, build that ark. I don't care who laughs at you. I don't care what they tell. Build that thing because you're going to need it. When the rain came, only Noah and his family were saved and a few animals that God told him to pick. Why? Because he was obedient to God, because he trusted God and he trusted the process. No matter what it looked like, he said, God, I trust you. You told me to do this. I'm going to do it because I trust you. And that's why we build. You have everything you need to be what God has called it to be, to walk in the value he's given you, to walk in what he's called you to walk in what he said to you. You have everything in you. You have the strength, you have the willpower, you have the understanding, you have the wisdom, everything, the favor of God surrounding you. Everything you need to be what God has called to be. I don't care what it is. It could be whatever. It could be whatever it is, a career. It could be to have a family. It could be to do whatever he has called it to be. He's given you everything you need to do it. Sit down before him. And some people, that's what their problem is. They don't want to sit before God. They don't want to spend time in his presence. They just want to be talking to everybody and everything. And if they get them mad, oh God, if they get them mad, but they don't want to stay in the presence and say, God, show me. Show me what I need to let go of. Show me what I need to keep so I can build myself to be all you've called me to be. And let me tell you something, he'll show you you. He shows me every time. You need to do this more, you need to do that more, do this less, do that less. And then I get that whole thing going. And I'm like, okay, let's go. But once he tells me to move, once he said, you got this, now do this. And I just said, okay, let's go. Immediately, I've had to do that because for me, I can talk myself out of things because I'm very, very, very analytical, very all that kind of stuff. I'm analyzing everything in my head, and I'm saying I'm rational too. So I can do a little not crazy, but I'll do some things that are kind of out there if God tells me to. But at the same time, I'm like, God, it has to make sense. So it's like that balance, so balance between the right and the left brain that I got to work out. But when you do, when God says do it, just do it. Sometimes you wouldn't see the result right away, but down the line, you're like, oh my God, if I had not done what God said then, I don't even want to know what would be where it would be at. It'd just be a whole different situation. But you trust the Lord and trust his process. And you will be everything he's called you to be because he's given it to you. He's placed it in you. Next, you have everything you need to live well. God has created everything to enable you to live well. As a matter of fact, Jesus died that you could have abundant life. He died that you could walk in abundance in every area, your spirit man, your physical man, and your mental man, your soulish man. He has put everything in you so you can live well. Some people don't think they have to live well. They think they have to be just stressed and messed up. Oh, that's not God. God didn't tell us to live a life of poverty and stress and misery. No, that's not God. His abundance is yours. You're his child. You're in covenant with him. And you don't see him walking around busted and disgusted. He's God. So why do you think you're supposed to be busted and disgusted? You are created in his image and likeness. So walk like that thing. I think I was talking to my husband about something, and we are saying how somebody would say, you're alive, so act like it. So he said, why you gotta act? I said, because some people, oh, you're free, so act like it. And he was like, well, why they gotta act? It just should be. I said, you would think. You would think that if somebody's free, they would act like it. But you could be free and your mind keeps you bound. You're sitting there free. You can do whatever you want, but you are sitting there enabling bondage because for some reason you still think you're a slave. That happened in the days of slavery too. And as a matter of fact, in psychological experiments, that's something they found where you train they so train the psyche of an animal to the point where every time you hit them they respond the same way, or every time they respond, so they expect to be slave, they expect to be still in bondage. As a matter of fact, you train them like, and if they try to come out, you give them a zap or something, or you hit them, and then so that they wouldn't leave the cage. You know that people train their dogs like that, to the point where if you open the cage to send them out, because they become so afraid of the zap and the hit or whatever it is they do to them, they will stay right there even if the door is wide open. Why? Because they've become conditioned to, if I move out of there, I'm going to get zapped, I'm going to get hit, so I'm not going to move because I don't want to get zapped. So even if you open the cage for them, they stay there even if they're free to go, because you've conditioned them to stay in there, and if they don't, they're going to get punished. That's what the devil can do to us sometimes. That's what slavery did to a lot of people. A lot of people were free, and some of them to this day are free, and they don't act like they're free because they've been conditioned to think they're slave. No, you've been free, baby. You've been free, hon. Get out of that slavery and walk in freedom. Same thing with the human traffic victims. Some people, they've been in it for so long, people are telling them, come, let me take you out. And they're like, no, no, no. If I go, he's going to hit me. He's going to kill me. He's going to do this, do that. And they'll stay there. Unless you pull them and tell them, no, he can't do anything anymore. We have killed him, or he's in jail, or whatever, whatever, whatever. So he can't do it anymore. People become conditioned to bad behavior. So although they can live well and they're free to live well, they don't understand that they can, because they've been conditioned to live in a negative environment, a poverty environment, a stressful environment, a crazy environment. So that becomes their norm. So they don't understand you're free. You don't have to live in poverty. Jesus came to make you rich. And so the Bible says, if the Son makes you free, you're free in it. So they're doing everything, and they don't understand that they can live a life of freedom with God, of prosperity with God. So they settle for the world and all the crazy, and they're on drugs, and they're in poverty, and they're in prostitution, and they're all kinds of stuff. And they think that's the best they can do. When Jesus is saying, I have given you life, and life more abundantly. Come and grab a hold of this and stop living in the world and doing the crazy things that's bringing you down every day. You have everything in you to live well. Live. And you have to say, I shall live and not die to declare the works of the Lord. That's something you got to see over yourself 24/7. I shall live and not die to declare the works of the Lord. And then finally, you have everything you need to be a blessing. Oh my God, that one right there. You are blessed to be a blessing. Everywhere you go, people are blessed because of you. They don't even know it, but they're blessed because of you. Because when God gets in covenant with you, everything that he says about you has to come to pass. So anyone that comes near you gets an overflow of the blessing. Everyone that's near you gets an overflow of the wisdom, the knowledge, understanding, whatever God has put in you. You become a blessing to others. So now you can see, God, I am blessed. Bless me so I can be a blessing. It no longer becomes about you. It now becomes about, can I bless people? Can I pour into people? Can I raise somebody up so they can be a blessing? So the cycle can go on, the cycle of blessing and joy and peace, because there's too much cycle of crazy going on out there in the world. I mean, you hear it. Sometimes I'm like, is this a mental disorder? What is going on that people don't understand that they're blessed and they don't want to bless others? And when you're blessed and you know it, you want to bless others. You want to lift up others. You want to have people feel good around and have everybody smiling. And you want that because it brings you up. So now it's not just about me, myself, and I. It's about, okay, you good over there. I like seeing you good. I like seeing people smiling. I like seeing people happy because God made such a difference in my life. And every time I see people, I say, get to know the God who made you. When you get to know the God who made you, you get to know you better. And you get to understand more of why you do what you do and why he wants you to be who he wants you to be, because you become a blessing in the earth. So that's what we do today. You have everything you need. I hope you get that. I hope you get it. Stop living and let the devil make a fool out of you and let the devil make a mess out of you and everybody's all that and all the whole, oh no. You have everything you need. You have everything you need in every situation to be everything God has called you to be. Say, God, show it to me. Stay in his presence. Show it to me, God. Show it to me. And that's what's going to take us straight into our stewarded section. Show it to me, God, how I can prosper in this uncertainty of economy. But you know, in all of it, I just know it's going to come about. And that's why people are saying, not people are saying a lot of, and you have to get the right mentality. And the rich have the mentality where we can get wealth. The most wealth is created in times like these. Because why? When we were telling you, it's the biggest sale ever. I mean, one guy was talking about Nike. He's like, go check Nike out. Nike has dropped to like, I think it's 55 or something. Check out, look for stocks that have dropped and the ones that are valuable because they're going to go back up. And people, if you get in the poverty mentality, people are like, oh, the earth. They said, no, that's when the wealth is being transferred, because now things that were not affordable, or you didn't think that you wouldn't spend that money on, they're now lower now. So you can buy them, and when they make a boom, you're right in the middle of the boom. So right now is a time for us to not be like, oh my God, the earth is falling. Oh my God. No, this is sale time, baby. This is time to buy some stuff. And if anybody's a lady, and all my ladies out there, you know what? When sale, end of year sale, Christmas time, what else? Summer, back to school sale. We're looking for the good. As a matter of fact, some people buy their Christmas gifts. It's during the summer back to school sale because they're cheap for the Christmas. And some people buy Christmas gifts, end of year sale, New Year's and all that stuff for the coming year, because they understand you get your stuff cheaper during that time. It's the same thing with our stocks. I mean, it took a hit, baby. Okay, hold on. Let me go there. I shouldn't say. I just thought I thought about somebody. We've been getting a hit, but let me tell you something. It has just been an eye opener for me. It's not a time of doom, and let's go share our Webull. You see, everything went down a bit, but it's still not going down too much. Okay, so that's my thing. Especially with the REITs, you can still do your thing with the REITs. Remember, the REITs are the real estate. So if you see GNL, AGNC, Stag, good, they're still at a decent price. You know, like they were close to the price that they were before. So you could do some situations there. And that's what has been working for me. And they're bringing in the dividends. They have the agency, GNL, no, not GNL, good. and Stag every month they have dividends, so you can be bringing in money, like that's the income right there. So if you purchase those at the price, that's like they haven't gone down too much, so it's not a big steal or anything, but they can bring you in monies every month. So look for those REITs and see which ones are low enough that you can. The GNLs are a decent situation. They're a good price. You could get a couple hundred stock, a 100 shares, and then you can build up right there and get the dividends while this situation is going on right here. Now, Nvidia took a hit, but let me tell you something. That's one you need to look for because it's not going anywhere. If you know what's going on with AI, that thing is taking over. And I've been doing my little things with AI, and it's been helping me. So I usually, whenever I see something, I try to see if it's working. Let me tell you something, that thing is amazing. I don't know what who created it, but the things it can do, and especially for the small business owner, you need that should be part of your team. I don't care how many people you have or don't have. AI, you need to put it in your team, okay? And work with it. It's not, don't look at it as the enemy. It's actually, you can work with it to do some things to help build up your company. So, and Nvidia is right in the middle of AI. So it's not, it's the boom is coming back pretty soon. So when it's at $94, you want to get a couple couples. You want to get a couple shares so you can wait for the boom, because the boom's coming. And I do believe that because of the things I'm hearing, where businesses are coming back to the country, so jobs. And let me tell you something. If you want to listen, don't get mad about everything going on. Don't get political about it. Learn from it. I did not know what happened because everybody keeps talking about the middle class and the jobs and everything. I didn't know that all that. I mean, we knew that some of the jobs went to other countries because it was cheaper for them to operate over there than here and all that. But I didn't know the strategy in that. See, that's what I've been telling you. Look to God for divine strategy, because the world has their own strategy. The people do strategies for bad stuff, but you want to do it for good. I didn't know the strategy in that is what caused so many factories here to be shut down, and so many small towns in America to be almost like ghost towns. Like they've been talking about it. I didn't really, because I haven't been studying it. But when I started listening to what's going on, I realized that's why it happened. There's a strategy in it. And that's why I tell you, in everything you do, tell God, show me the strategy. And even we pray, we always expose the hidden works of darkness, things that are being done that you don't know about. So you can learn and know how to, even in business, how to orchestrate yourself. That's why even with purchasing stocks right now, you need to understand what's going on so you know which stocks to buy. If there's certain companies that may be doing going to be higher tariff there, but you might probably want to like not buy them right now and buy something. You know, just to different ways, but you have to listen, and understand for strategy. You know, you're playing chess, not checkers. And I'm learning, I'm learning all these things now because I wasn't you're focused but not focused. You know, but now I'm understanding. So now some of the companies are coming back because of what's going on. They're zeroing out their tariffs and all that kind of stuff. But we have to start looking at those things to understand how our countries are run, so that you start thinking that on a country level as opposed to a national level or even global level, as opposed to just right there and there, my, and mine. You start seeing how all these things affect your daily purchases, the daily things that you do. So I've been listening and learning, and on my little TikTok and my little Instagram and my little Facebook, more Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and you're listening to like, oh my God, there's been a strategy that has been causing all these companies have left America and nobody knew. Nobody recognized, but I guess the government people and people who are studying it, that so many jobs left because there was a strategy with the tariffs of the other countries. So yeah, I'm mind blown. Mine has been being blown for a couple of weeks now, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is what was going on, and we were not focused. So we just focus on ourselves and me, my, and our little town, our little city, not understanding that these countries are playing chess when you're playing checkers. That's what that's. Let me tell you, that's why you pray as Christians, all the Christians out there. You're not sitting around you need to pray, because while we're out there fussing, countries are working things out that's affecting us and we don't even know. Okay, just something to throw out there. Now, VU, if you see VU, right, VU is very good on on the ETFs. And you see that's what I've been looking at. It dropped a bit. It's been usually around the high fives to 600s, and it's a little 465 now. So that's one that you could really get. You should get some shares in, because that was not going anywhere. And if you can't do the whole share, do some what you call that, fractionals, where you put them whatever money you got, $100, $50, and put it in there. And because this right there is going to be big, it's always going to be big. So you need to do that. So that's one thing I looked at because it went down not too much, but still a little more manageable. You know, SPY is another one. It's not too low either, but 505. So these are the things that you look at because they're not going anywhere. Look for the tech stocks not going anywhere. They may be low right now. See how you can get some shares. Again, still be research them carefully. Don't just jump in and just be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Look at them, see what they're doing. That's why we tell you keep the watch list, watch them, see what they're doing. You can go and some people are doing a lot. Remember the short sale? They're selling them while they're high, but a lot of them are not high. But I'm not sure they're going to go down much lower. But if you haven't sold it, and then buying it back when the price goes down. See, that's the thing people don't know. So they think, oh, the rich are selling, everybody's selling. No, they're not selling like you are. They're selling with a strategy. That's why I tell you we have been playing checkers when they're playing a whole bunch of chess. So they're buying, they're selling not with the plan not to get back in, just with the plan. Okay, it's going down low. I'm going to sell this now, make some money, and buy it when it gets lower. And then they come back and they buy it, and then another boom happens, and millionaires are born. That's how a lot of millionaires are born because buy low. And I heard one guy say this, which really because he's one of the tax strategists I listen to. Buy low. What did he said? Oh God, you don't sell it. Buy low, borrow high, and never sell. So what you do is you never sell yourself. You buy high, you buy low, wait for it to get high, then you borrow. If well, some people sell, but he said like on a whole in life, never sell your assets or whatever. Keep them, and then whatever portfolio borrow against it, but never sell it so it could keep growing. But yeah, to hold it, that I'm telling you, all kinds of strategies to come in. But that's a thing for you to understand. If they sell, it's not so they could just get money. They're taking the money, and when it goes down low, they're buying it back again, so they get it at a better price. So that's what I'm telling you. It's sale, just like we do in the stores. Now we don't sell. Some people do that though. Whether they buy something from the store, and then when they see the sale, they bring it back, sell it, and they come back to buy it. So we do. I don't do that because sometimes I like the thing too much, but some people have done it. I've known that. So that's what's going on in our stock situation. Another thing I've been listening to. Let me stop sharing. Another thing I've been listening and I'm finding out, and which is sad, is that they're saying that only about 7 to 8% of Americans are invested in the stock market. That was the weirdest thing for me. Only 7 to 8% are invested because I guess a lot of people are scared of it. And this one man was saying another thing where he said, "Oh my God, 10%, only the top 10% of Americans are invested in 88% of the stock market." Is that what he said? 10, right. So just as right around that 10% people. And then another 40%, I think is what he said, is invested in another situation. And then he said the last 50% have nothing. They just have debt and they buy cars and they have loans. That's not a good position for the country to be in. So that's why they were saying, like, even with the stock market going, that's not affecting too many people because jobs are coming in, and that's what is more important. But I'm saying, why are we not more invested? And I know it's because some people are scared with all the things that have happened, or people have lost a lot of money. And that's why, for me, I manage my own thing myself. So I know what I want to do. I'm just not careful or in the place where I want somebody to manage it for me. After the Madoffs and stuff, I'm like, mm-mm. So that's why I tell people, but you can do it yourself. You can start with $50. So if your job goes out, like what's going on, that's why I tell you have to have it. Now, they have the 401k so you're in your job, but you can also do a brokerage thing on the side where you can put your monies in and you can manage it yourself. So you're not pushing for too much risk. You know which ones to invest in. You have a lot of coaches out there. Like me, I'm not really in there. I'm just starting the situation, but there's a lot of people who know even more than me out there. Like you could get advice from them. They're on TikTok, they're on Instagram and all these different things, and they're showing you different strategies. Don't just invest what somebody tells you to. Listen to the strategy, and that's why I tell you, go do your watch list and do it for yourself. So you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, that works and that doesn't work. But yeah, get invested, especially in the dividends, because a lot of the stuff, that means all these people in the markets are affecting you more than, and you're not even in it, but they're affecting you. And you could be making money from it and adding to whatever God has given you. And I always tell you, when you get the money from it, you can use it to invest in other things as well, like real estate, which is more a sound investment to make, because land again goes nowhere, and you have that equity and you can use it to build and to create rental income, or whatever kind of income you want to do, and it brings in profit to your family. So that's what I'm saying. I was like, only 7%. One person said 8, another one said 10% are in the are making up 88% of the stock market. And they were even saying of in the whole stock market, more foreign investors are invested in our stock market than even us. And I'm like, well, wait a minute now. So then all these people are affecting us and nobody's in it. So that's why when people lose their, if you're not having that's what, multiple streams of income. So if you lose your job, there's no buffer. And that's why I tell people, that's one thing I had to learn from me, because I was always invested in the stock market, but I started with a 401k, then I started managing it myself, but I wasn't paying as much attention. I think I didn't know all the strategies I know now. That's why I keep saying, if I knew the strategies I knew then, I probably would have worked myself out of a job in the stock market, because I didn't know. I knew, but I didn't know. Like, to work to get the dividends, add to your portfolio. You get dividends every month. I used to be like, but how are these people leaving their jobs and doing the stock market? I was like, I don't understand it. And then I got it. And I was like, oh, because they're building. And that's why it's not a get rich quick situation, but you build and you buy until your dividends start coming in. You're like, woo, okay, that makes sense. I like that. And you keep building. And then every time your dividends come, if you reinvest it, so it's building compound interest, and it just keeps going and going and go, and you just keep building. And then you do the options. Oh, mama. Ooh. And then I just learned about the bonds. I was like, why are people investing in bonds? They said during times like this, it's more of a secure situation to invest in bonds, because it's more sure. Because if a company liquidates, they give the bondholders money first before the shareholders. Didn't know that. So that's also a thing you need to look into, but we're not even looking into. But they said when times are down like this, people invest more in bonds, because it's based on the interest that you're getting back. So that's something we'll have to research for another time, but that's another thing to. But yeah, you do it well, and you do it with wisdom. Of course, you keep some cash on hand. Don't put all your cash, because the situations are right. You want to have cash so you can work things out. But it's so you just start little and build. And that should be more of a situation. So we're not always right. We're not in the situation where once you lose your job, you're all out of this. No. And it's one of the simplest ways, I don't know, side hustle to make money apart from your job, and then it can become your job. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we're almost out of time. But that's something I looked at, and I was like, I need to talk about it. We need to talk about this. That's a very low number, but you're getting affected by the stock market. Okay. And so, but they're going past that, and we're getting jobs coming back. And that's one thing I like hearing about. And I liked hearing about I heard some of the tariffs are being zeroed out. Countries are calling in and saying, well, if we don't tariff, will you not tariff us? And you say no, so no tariffs there. So we're having some calls coming in and things happening. And what I tell people, pray. If you're a child of God, now I don't know, everybody's not saved, but if you're a child of God, pray. And God said he will move things on our behalf. We're not like the world that have no hope. We have a hope. So when we start seeing situations, say, God, okay, now you know what's going on. Now work this thing out in the name of Jesus. And that's what I've been praying. And he will show up and do things and motivate men and steer men and minister to the kings. And he said, I had the heart of the king is in my hand, and he could do things that no man could do. But we're thankful because he's working it out on our behalf. So we're almost out of time, but I hope these conversations are the things you want to have. And we're going to deeper into, that's what the Fava conversation is going to be about. You're going to hear some deep topics that we don't talk about here. We're going to try to delve over there because we have more time. And the first few ones may not be as long, but we're building on that to get them. So just to do investigative research into situations and why they are as they are and what they do, why they do what they do, and all that kind of stuff. But we're working over here in these streets. So I hope you're working as well, because this is the time for us to do what only God can do. And you have to pray, seek his face. Excuse me. He said, then he will hear from heaven and he will heal the land. And a healing is needed in our land. A healing is needed in the earth. But God is what only he could do, what only he could do. My God, only God can do what only he can do. So we hope everything we did here blessed you. It blessed us. Because I mean, I have to be in a blessed place because all these things we're hearing, I'm like, what is going on? But God is doing a good thing. And we know the earth is his and we are here to manage it. So he's going to help work with us to get things done that need to get done. So keep on stewarding. Keep on doing what you do. Don't get scared. Don't get all over the place acting the fool and cause damage to yourself and your family. No. This is a time for you to look into the research and say, this is an opportunity to gain wealth. I'm going to be part of that boom that's going to happen. And it's going to get some wealth is going to be transferred into my hands because I'm looking for the opportunities and I'm going to maximize those opportunities and see God do great things. Oh my God. I hope you're blessed. We thank you for being with us. We love you guys. And remember to have what? Father conversations. Bye bye.